What's up?
Nothing.
Show me.
It's mommy.
Due to more crimes happening in Johannesburg, South Africa, they start using robot police scouts. The company that makes these robots, Tetraveil, says they have a special system to keep them safe from bullets, and only they can update the software. Tetraveil also makes a bigger robot called the Moose, controlled by Vincent, who used to design weapons and was in the army. Vincent doesn't like artificial intelligence and thinks robots controlled by people are safer. But Dion, who made the police scouts, says they're smart and can think and feel. At Tetraveil Robotics, a robot named Scout 22 needs fixing. The person fixing it notices it keeps getting broken soon after they send it out. He fixes the robot's antenna and turns it on. Right away, Scout 22 arms itself and heads to its position. Meanwhile, a group of thieves Ninja, Yolandi, Pitbull, and America arrive at their gang's base, where their leader, Hippo, scolds them for failing their last deal. He demands 20 million rands, threatening to kill them otherwise. To show he means it, Hippo shoots Pitbull and warns the rest they have 7 days to get his money. When the scouts show up, the gang fights them while Ninja and his team try to escape. Ninja sees the man who took their keys, but he gets away in a car. Scout 22 spots the car and shoots at it, causing it to flip. Ninja fights his way to the burning vehicle and gets his van's keys back. Soon after, Scout 22 finds Hippo, who shoots it with a rocket. At Tetraveil Robotics, CEO Michelle Bradley announces that the police have ordered 100 new scouts. The staff celebrates and congratulates Dion for his project's ongoing success. Michelle then encourages Vincent that his project still has a chance. The scouts are sent to the rescue. After a few minutes, she advises him to keep the project costs down. But Vincent is tired of having his project's funding cut. Dion is summoned to the warehouse to check on Scout 22. Upon seeing the damage, Dion instructs the crew to salvage the CPU and crush the rest of its parts. In their hideout, Ninja's team recuperates, but Hippo calls Ninja, reminding him that they owe him. Yolandi suggests one final job to pay off Hippo and escape with the rest of the money. Ninja thinks they can rob a van transporting cash to a bank, but America knows the scouts will come after them. Yolandi devises a plan to steal a scout's remote from a Tetraveil employee to switch the robots off. That evening, Dion arrives home and records a video journal, reporting his progress on his AI programming. After hours of working on the AI code, Dion finally perfects his programming. He rushes to the warehouse and tells the crew not to destroy Scout 22. Then he announces to Michelle that he has created an artificial intelligence smarter than a human. He promises that the AI will be able to make judgments. However, Michelle laughs at his claims. He asks for permission to install the program on Scout 22, promising that it won't cost the company anything. Michelle refuses due to the paperwork it will entail. Disappointed, Dion goes to his desk and, after much thought, decides to proceed anyway. He heads to the warehouse and transports Scout 22 by himself. Dion takes a guard key chip and loads spare parts into a van. He drives back home, but Ninja's team blocks him and knocks him out. In the hideout, Ninja wakes Dion up and beats him. They demand the switch to turn off the robots, but Dion reveals the scouts don't have an off switch. America shows them what's in Dion's van. Yolandi suggests having Dion build the robot and program it to fight for them. When they propose this to Dion, he explains that the robot in his van is still in progress, but it can be trained to do what they want if it works. He says the programming will be like a child, evolving and learning. While Dion works on Scout 22, he reveals the battery is unchangeable and will only run for 5 days. After fixing the hardware, Dion uses the guard key to install the new AI, then powers it on. At first, Chappie acts like a scared child, hiding from the humans, but Yolandi convinces it to come out. Dion is happy to see his program working. The robot becomes curious and slowly learns their language, amusing everyone. Yolandi names the robot Chappie. Ninja intervenes, pulling Dion out of the scene and threatening him not to return. Dion insists that Chappie is his creation, and he must continue to train him. Yolandi tries to convince Ninja to let Dion return, but Ninja fires a warning shot, forcing Dion to leave. At Tetravale Robotics, Vincent sneaks into the warehouse to retrieve the guard key, but finds it missing. Upon accessing the computer, he discovers the guard key is still installed on Scout 22. In the morning, Chappie explores the hideout and becomes intrigued by random items. Ninja finds it and trains it to shoot a gun, but the robot is still scared of him. Despite this, Ninja forces a gun onto Chappie, and it ends up shooting a punching bag instead. Yolandi scolds Ninja, arguing that the robot isn't ready. Ninja is frustrated, reminding them they're in trouble if they don't get the money for Hippo. Meanwhile, at Tetravale Robotics, Dion researches early childhood development until Vincent interrupts him. Vincent asks Dion for the guard key, saying he needs it to check Moose's security levels. Dion refuses, citing protocols against it. Vincent holds him down and aims a gun, blaming him for the lack of funds in his project. He demands the guard key again, but Dion still refuses. Vincent pulls the trigger but reveals the gun isn't loaded. Despite this, Dion is pushed to the edge and leaves the office, unaware that Vincent is following him. At the hideout, Yolandi and America teach Chappie. Yolandi persuades Chappie to call her mommy, and America finds it amusing when Chappie copies him. Dion arrives, but Yolandi warns him that Ninja will return soon. Dion is happy to see his creation, but is surprised when it starts talking like a gangster. He asks Chappie not to do anything, disappointing Yolandi. Dion shows Chappie a book and teaches it how to paint. Vincent sneaks around the hideout and sees Dion with Chappie. He's surprised to see the robot painting and notices the guard key installed on Chappie. Afterward, he drives back to the office. Dion and Yolandi are amazed to see Chappie painting, but their joy is short-lived when Ninja arrives. Ninja shoots at Dion, but Yolandi pushes him, causing him to miss. Yolandi explains they're just teaching Chappie, but Ninja refuses to listen. Dion threatens to call the police on Ninja, but he refuses and leaves. Yolandi and Ninja argue over Chappie, but America receives a call about a job worth 600 million rands. To prepare Chappie, Ninja and America leave him in a lot where a small gang is hanging out, hoping it will teach the robot to defend itself. They then abandon Chappie, allowing the gang to attack it. Dion arrives home, frustrated about losing his AI to the thugs. He gets a call from Tetravale Security, demanding the return of the guard key by the end of the day. Meanwhile, Chappie struggles to return to the hideout and rests in an empty lot where it meets a dog. Vincent and his team locate Chappie and disable it with an EMP wave. They try to retrieve the guard key, but the robot resists. Frustrated, Vincent saws off Chappie's arm to retrieve the guard key. As he attempts to dismantle the robot further, Chappie fights back and manages to escape. Finally, Chappie makes it back to the hideout, where Yolandi scolds Ninja for letting it get hurt. At the hideout, they replace Chappie's missing arm with a spare one, allowing it to move again. Yolandi reads the book left by Dion for Chappie and teaches it that what's inside makes it special. The next day, Dion buys a gun to reclaim Chappie. In the hideout, Chappie crafts a doll resembling Yolandi, but Ninja interrupts. Ninja apologizes to Chappie and promises to help it become stronger. Ninja tries to teach Chappie to act like a gangster, but it refuses to shoot people, upsetting Ninja. America calms him down and teaches Chappie to stab people. They also train Chappie to use weapons like nunchucks and throwing stars, and they decorate him before leaving. Ninja instructs Chappie to intimidate a man into giving up his car using a gun, but Chappie drops the gun and uses a wrench instead, accidentally destroying the car. As they drive away, Ninja scolds Chappie for not being careful with the stolen car, emphasizing that they need it to look good for resale. Chappie tries again and successfully steals a few cars. Later, Ninja and America take Chappie to the king's hideout. Upon seeing Chappie, the gang inside panics, thinking he's the police. They leave Chappie at the entrance and go up to meet the king. The king offers them weapons and explosives for their heist in exchange for the stolen cars. Meanwhile, Chappie explores and finds a dead dog. When Ninja returns, he tells Chappie that life is tough and it must fight to survive. Chappie disagrees, claiming it's indestructible. However, Ninja points out that its battery is low and will die once it's drained. Ninja asks Chappie for help, arguing that Dion put him in a broken body. Chappie defends Dion, saying he cares for him. Ninja promises a new body if they do the heist, persuading Chappie to join them. At their hideout, Dion arrives, but Yolandi informs him that Ninja took Chappie. Moments later, Ninja and the group return. Dion tries to reach out to Chappie, but it ignores him. Dion scolds Chappie for aiding Ninja in crimes, blaming Dion for its flawed design. Chappie defends Dion, stating he created him with care. Meanwhile, Vincent sneaks into the warehouse and installs a program for the remaining scouts, causing their firmware to malfunction. This leads to multiple accidents. Chappie's CPU also fries, and Dion, fearing for Chappie's safety, takes him away, aiming a gun at Ninja. As the robot scouts remain offline, chaos grips the city, prompting the deployment of the human police force. Vincent successfully executes his plan, deleting the program that disabled the scouts to cover his tracks. However, Dion arrives at the warehouse before the deletion completes. He rushes Chappie to a workstation to reboot the robot. Plugging Chappie into a computer, Dion encounters Vincent's program detected as a virus, so he isolates it, thwarting Vincent's attempt to delete the program on Chappie. Chappie reboots, but he becomes intrigued by Moose, another robot. Dion explains that transferring his consciousness isn't feasible since Chappie is sentient, not just data to be copied. Disheartened, Chappie steals the neural helmet controlling Moose and flees. Dion tries to follow, but a group of police officers enters, prompting Vincent to shut down his computer and leave. Returning to the hideout, Chappie hooks up the neural helmet to a computer, intending to transfer his consciousness into a new body. When Yolandi questions his actions, Chappie tests the helmet on her to verify its functionality. Meanwhile, Michelle tasks Dion with investigating the scout robot's malfunction. Despite Vincent's attempt to deploy Moose, Michelle refuses. Chappie's attempts to copy his consciousness into the helmet fail initially, but after several tries, he successfully transfers his consciousness to the computer. Ninja gathers the team for their heist. They intercept a transport truck, and Chappie forcibly removes the officers and seizes the money. During the heist, Dion finally uncovers the reason behind the scout robot's shutdown. Confronting Vincent, Dion is distracted by news reports of Chappie's involvement in the heist. He warns Vincent before rushing to aid Chappie. Meanwhile, on the road, Chappie encounters the officer he attacked and apologizes before moving on. Vincent approaches Michelle and Liza, blaming Dion's new AI program for the scout robots going offline. He convinces Michelle to authorize Moose's deployment based on seeing Dion with a sentient scout. As Moose is activated, Dion arms himself and heads to a restricted area. Chappie, in the van, demands a new body, but Ninja reveals they can't afford it. Feeling deceived, Chappie becomes aggressive. Dion catches up as Chappie ejects Ninja. Chappie confronts them for lying, but Dion warns of Moose's imminent arrival to destroy him. Dion prepares weapons to disable Moose, but Chappie refuses to fight. Suddenly, Hippo arrives, demanding the money and the robot. Ninja engages Hippo's gang while Chappie attempts to deal with the robot. In the chaos, Moose destroys Chappie's body, enraging Ninja, who retaliates only for Moose to launch explosives, burning their van and the money. Vincent chuckled as he watched the chaos caused by the bombs. Finally, he spotted Dion. Chappie emerged and fired at the larger robot, throwing a bomb at it. But before Chappie could detonate the bomb, Vincent shot at its arm. Moose fired at the people, so Chappie moved Yolandi out of harm's way. Dion tried to escape in his van, but Hippo attacked him to steal the vehicle. Ninja intervened, but he got shot in the leg. Hippo then shot Dion in the stomach. Ninja hit Hippo with a shovel, then called Chappie to help move Dion back into the van. Ninja and Yolandi got into the van and drove off, but Chappie stopped to retrieve the neural helmet. Vincent fired at them and damaged the helmet before Chappie could get it. Chappie told Ninja that they had to go back to the Tetravale warehouse to get another helmet to save Dion. Ninja then volunteered to distract Moose while they escaped. As the van drove away, Ninja fired at Moose, unwilling to let him die. Yolandi hopped out of the van, picked up a gun, and fired it at the machine. Moose then shot at Yolandi, killing her. Chappie caught Yolandi's body, then spotted the detonator nearby. He jumped forward and detonated the bomb, blowing up Moose into pieces. Ninja and Chappie mourned over Yolandi's body. Enraged, Chappie asked Dion, who killed his mother, and promised to crush the man. Chappie drives into the Tetravale Robotics building and carries Dion inside. Vincent shoots at Chappie, then runs away, but the robot throws a wrench at his leg. Vincent limps into the office area, but Chappie continues to pursue, yelling at him for killing Yolandi. The robot beats up Vincent close to death before claiming to have forgiven him. Then, Chappie carries Dion into the warehouse to transfer his consciousness into a robot. Chappie puts the neural helmet on Dion just as the police arrive. The robot activates the program, transferring Dion's consciousness to the spare robot. The spare robot suddenly wakes up as Dion. Dion wants to do the same for Chappie, but with no other spare robot, Chappie has accepted its fate. Dion recalls that Vincent used his computer to transfer the virus to the scouts, realizing he can use it to transfer Chappie's consciousness into another body. Chappie loads up the program while the police are breaking down the doors. Dion activates the program, and Chappie's body goes limp. As the police finally open the doors, Dion escapes into a vent and reunites with Chappie and his new body. At the hideout, Ninja burns all the items in mourning. Among Yolandi's belongings, he finds a flash drive labeled Mommy's Consciousness. Ninja recalls how Chappie used the neural helmet on Yolandi first, successfully copying her consciousness. The next day, they bury Yolandi, and Chappie promises to give her a new body. Due to the events, the authorities have suspended the use of robotic officers. The police have also issued a warrant for Chappie's arrest. Days later, Chappie remotely accesses Tetravale's robotic warehouse to create a new body for Yolandi.